I'm Tony Butler and I'm Executive Director of Derby Museums. "2020 was to have been a year of marvels for Derby Museums. The Derby Ram Trail would have attracted thousands, with visitors seeking these wonderfully decorated icons around the city. And in September, after years in development, the Museum of Making at Derby Silk Mill would have finally opened its doors, celebrating 300 years of making and creativity in Derby. The year began optimistically. Japanese ghosts and demons intrigued visitors as we look forward to the Tokyo Olympics in July. And our next exhibition was a retrospective of 20th century Derby sculptor Ronald Pope, which included a brilliant gazetteer of his work in public spaces in the region. In March, we were thrilled to exhibit Mission of Mercy, Jerry Barrett's famous painting of Florence Nightingale, on loan from the National Portrait Gallery. Nightingale, with her strong family connections in Derbyshire, was to have been the subject of a major programme of events as we commemorated her bicentenary. Fatefully, the very week we were due to open an exhibition of her studies on health at home at Pickford's House, the first lockdown caused by the COVID-19 pandemic was announced. We closed our doors to all our museums for nearly 4 months. And our team responded magnificently to enforced closure, creating a slew of new online content. We joined in with the BBC Museums from Home programme, publishing V21's virtual reality tour of the previous year's Leonardo da Vinci exhibition. We created a new microsite, Derby Museums from Home, which featured virtual tours of recent exhibitions. We presented activities and games for families such as Weekend Makes, Make Your Monday, Drawing for Relaxation, and we've made podcasts with experts and academics who have shone new light in our museums. Thank you to everyone who supported our fundraising events and donated generously in response to being able to access Derby Museums from Home. Zoom and video conferencing have become an essential part of our lives. It's been a vital way of managing our work and a means to keep in touch with supporters and volunteers who play such an important part of the life of the museum. Some volunteers have been able to come back into the museum and others have carried out vital activities remotely. Textile artist Tony Butler has supported volunteers to weave large cocoon-like structures from their own homes, and these cocoons will form part of an installation for the new Museum of Making. Now, thankfully, we were able to open Derby Museum and Art Gallery in early July. We were one of the first regional museums to do so. Since then, visiting the museum has been a very different experience, with distancing rules and hand-washing stations in place to keep people safe. Reopening made us feel hopeful that we were playing our part in the recovery of Derby city centre. We were able to run a Summer Midlands Maker Challenge, and in September we were thrilled to open an exhibition of work entitled Dandelion by Ed Burks, the winner of this year's Jonathan Vickers Award. The energetic and confident exhibition put Derby people at its heart. The pandemic has caused many to look differently at the world, and it's encouraged us to explore new perspectives on our collections. In our World Collections Gallery, storyteller Alison Solomon created the Human Programme, which looks at the way racist attitudes have been embedded in society through representations of cultural heritage. And we've rehung Benjamin West's painting of General Johnson saving a wounded French officer from a North American Indian alongside Alison's work to contextualise the historic version of 18th century British colonialism. We've held workshops with community members to explore different ways to interpret this impressive painting, The Community Kitchen for All, by Gurbet Singh Teati. We've continued to deliver valuable and innovative cultural and community learning programmes. We've announced the first 25 Creative Community Fellows who will join our national programme to create new cultural leaders committed to civic action. With other cultural organisations, we're teaching English as a second language to new arrivals who are making Derby their home. Despite the tribulations of coronavirus, we're in buoyant mood. We're grateful to the National Lottery Heritage Fund, Arts Council England and Derby City Council for providing emergency funding support. We're thankful to Wolfson and other trusts and foundations who have put their faith in our activities. And we also fully appreciate the support of our volunteers, friends and visitors for their time and their donations given so generously, helping us to continue to bring all of this to Derby. As 2021 approaches, there's much to anticipate. We've just launched the schools programme for the Derby Ram Trail, which will now take place next May. At the Museum of Making at Derby Silk Mill, the most significant heritage project in Derby for generations, work is back on track. We expect to open this splendid new museum in the spring. And with that, for the first time in nearly a decade, all 3 Derby museums will be open for the thinker and maker in all of us.